What is up, guys? Welcome to my new video. In today's video I'll be talking about Mythic Plus dungeons, or rather some things you should know about them. It doesn't really matter if you are just now starting your Mythic Plus journey or if you have been doing it for a longer periods of time. I think this video should prove useful to you. Mythic Plus dungeons are things that take time and some things that you will learn by time, so it's not just that you watch this video and you watch 3 more and you are ready to go. With that being said, let's start off with the tip number 1. Raider.io. You might be wondering what is that. Now, for new players, that is and basically a site that shows you Mythic Plus score. You have it now in the game as well, and the score you obtain by doing Mythic Plus dungeons. Higher difficulty you do, you get more score, and also the time in which you did it matters. Let's say you did a +7 stone vault without beating the timer, you get, let's say, 250 score. You beat the timer, you get 270, something like that. Now, if you are starting off and doing some low keys, this really doesn't matter to you. Nor should you pay too much attention to it, since lower keys don't tend to be much different from a normal Mythic dungeon, whilst higher keys have the damage increased by so much that even some packs of mobs are deadly, or even some abilities if they go off. Now, when forming a group, don't be afraid to invite someone with lower Mythic Plus rating in case it's lower. In case it's a lower key, sorry, I didn't read this right, but if you are starting to run like +6, +7s, consider taking someone with a bit higher rating and look out if they ran that dungeon or not. At least in my opinion, that's what I do. I don't really care much about rating if they ran the dungeon, but also if you see someone that has a +10 and no other keys and like 600 item level, that would be very, very suspicious. Now, second tip. Let's talk about dungeons themselves. I highly suggest, if you didn't run a dungeon yet and you plan on doing it on Mythic Plus difficulty, the least you can do is watch a short guide on YouTube just to get a bit familiar with the dungeon, at least to know what bosses do and what mechanics they have, since most of the bosses, they don't just kill you, but you wipe the group and make the whole key unplayable for everyone else. Do not be that guy that just queues, gets into the group, has no idea about anything, and then you fail the key. Please just take 5 minutes, look up a guide to get familiar with it, but do not think it will make you know the dungeon 100%. You will still need to run it a few times to get used to the packs, to get used to the boss placement, and so on. Now we are coming up to the third tip. Now, let's say you're running a Necrotic Wake, like I am in this video. You might be used to the tank pulling half of the room here and then nuking it, but in this case the tank went slow, which is not best for me since warriors have high AoE burst, which is tied to their cooldowns, meaning if I use everything here on this pack, I won't have it in the next pack that is very much more important. So you should always be watching out for how are you doing the pull and then using your CDs accordingly. Do not pull for the tank or something similar, because it will probably cause a wipe. I would like here if he went on to do a larger pull, but this is also fine. Maybe he's experimenting, maybe getting used to the healer, or maybe he just has bad experience tied to pulling everything at the start, then wiping, then him dying, all of the group dying, and then people leaving. That is always an option, so please just watch out for them. We are all people, we are all learning, and the game has always something new to show us. Now, the fourth tip, your cooldowns. If you are starting with Mythic Plus dungeons, you might think, I should save my CDs for the boss. Well, the thing is, sometimes the packs are more dangerous than the boss themselves. I personally use my CDs whenever they come off cooldown, but not always. Let's say we are at the last pack before boss and that pack is almost dead. In that case, I will save it for later on or for boss. Or let's say you are in the midst of Tirna something and the boss doesn't take full damage, or he does, but then at the phase 2 he takes increased damage. In that case, I will still use some of my cooldowns, but not all of them. Maybe some cooldown that is a very long long time cooldown. Maybe I'll save it for the second phase when boss takes some extra damage and so on. But also that still comes with running dungeons in lower dungeons, +2, +3 and so on. It really won't matter, nor will you know any difference. Now, the fifth tip and the final tip of this video is the most important. And that is looking at your mistakes and not blaming others. Other day, I was running a +7 stone vault and the last boss was around 20% HP. We have a minute and 30 seconds on the clock, and then what happens? The healer dies. We combat res him and he dies again. Then we just start falling. At that point I was furious at the healer, but since I was making the video, I actually had that recorded. And whilst making a video and watching it, I saw I could have personally lived at least another 10 to 15 seconds had I used my right abilities. And also I had my rallying cry up. Maybe had I used it, he wouldn't have died once he got combat rest. But nonetheless, we didn't finish key in the time, we wiped it, and no one is flaming anything. We all make mistakes. That is how it is. Until we can't get perfect, we all make mistakes, don't flame others. We went on, we waited for bloodlust, we popped it, we killed the boss, and we finished the key. Don't flame anyone, because most of the time they'll just leave, or they'll be then under pressure, which will make them underperform, and that is nothing. And that is something that you don't want, nor anyone in your party. No one makes the mistakes on purpose. Maybe there are people that do, but they are just, I won't say it. But yeah, you know what I mean. Just be friendly, do the key. Maybe he'll help you out sometime later with the key. Maybe you will fuck up the next key that you play with him. So just chill. It happened what happened. If you don't have a group, then, and if you're playing with random people, just understand that everything can happen. Just do the run chill and you'll increase your keys anyways. If you play better, no one can play better for you. With that being said, those are the 5 tips I have for you in Mythic Plus Dungeons. I have more of them and I'll probably make a part 2. But for now, I hope this video helped you, and if it did, consider subscribing and liking the video since it helps me out. With that being said, I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching and bye.